established that with Trump. Sam Harris has been on he was at least, I think he's abandoned it, but it was on a quest to get Jack to try to hold up his terms of service agreement and kick Trump off of Twitter.
Right.
He's like, look what he's doing. He's threatening nuclear war. Like, do you understand? Like, this is the craziest use of Twitter ever.
Yeah.
And I think Jack's position was that it's more beneficial to have him on, and it's really, we are getting to see his personality in a way we've never seen any president's personality.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, the most ridiculous petty shit that he does, like attacking Michelle Wolf because of her White House correspondence thing, calling people losers, making fun of the girl on Joe Scarborough, the girl he married, saying that she had fucked up plastic surgery and she was bleeding.
Yeah.
He just makes shit up. I mean, do you think she really thinks she showed up in Mar-a-Lago bleeding with fucking plastic surgery? He's a fucking maniac. But,
he really is.
But meanwhile, it's good for us to see because it educates us to who he is as a real person.
Right.
Like, there's a lot of who you are just gets exposed in those tweets.
Yeah.
It's like little bit. You can't know everything about a person from their Twitter, but you can parse out little chunks where you get a good taste. And for him, it's very, very revealing.
Yeah, it is a weird thing. I think this will be looked back on as a very pivotal moment in American history and in politics, where that kind of crossroad happened.
Yeah.
Because we were pretty satisfied with that political speech thing, and we need to bring up the lower middle class and they just go on and drone on. And it's this weird speech that no real human being ever speaks like. Hillary was hilarious. And what we need today is It was fake. It comes off as fake and phony. Trump comes rolling in. It's absolutely batshit insane. Like the stuff he says, like you were saying. The other day, he's giving a speech, and he said that when he was younger, people said he looked like Elvis because he was doing some kind of a commemorative thing for Elvis down in, is it Tennessee or somewhere? And he says he looked like Elvis. And we're laughing our asses off, me and Keith, because no one ever told him he looked like Elvis. No one ever told him that. And there's so many things. And I'm a Trump guy. I voted for the guy because I wanted that monkey wrench thrown into the machine. I felt we had gotten screwed too many decades, and it was time to let Washington know, like, look, we'd rather elect this nut than any of you guys. So I think it proved a point. There are enough checks and balances in place where, the likes of any one president really isn't going to do that much damage. I think he's pulled the cover off a lot of stuff. I think people are trying to compete with him on Twitter. Politicians are trying to play his game, and it's kind of fun to watch. As a comic entertainer, it's gold.
Did you see what Tulsi Gabbard said to him?
What?
She's a congresswoman from Hawaii. She said, being Saudi Arabia's bitch isn't making America first. Like, that's a congresswoman.
See? They're all kind of taking that. They never used to do that.
No.
They didn't, and it's odd that a 70-year-old guy was the one that was like bringing Twitter to social media into this forum.
It is odd.
And you would think it would be some young guy who would get in there and do it, but
they would never do it the way he's doing it.
No, that's
he's
just
doing
it.
Like a reckless maniac.
It's and that's because he can.
Yeah.
The guy, you'll never see a chain of events like what happened to elect Donald Trump. The rich guy is just a billionaire, a millionaire, whatever you want to call him. He's got a lot of money.
Money from his dad.
From his dad, and then I remember him in New York when I was a kid. Trump was always in the news. Developer, he was always banging heads with politicians, trying to get some kind of zoning thing going or build some other tower somewhere. And so we were all familiar with him, and we knew he was like this piece of shit guy, Like everyone was surprised, like, oh God, he grabbed by the pussy. It's like, we saw in the Daily News and the New York Post every week Trump was with some other who and shit. So it wasn't a surprise to us.
Yeah.
But he got out there, and it was the perfect timing. Like, we come off the heels of 8 years of a Democratic president, and it just was. People were ready for a maniac. to be in the White House.
Some people were.
Some people were, exactly.
My favorite image of the election was that lady with the sock hat on her knees with the glasses screaming. Like that, to me, ushered in this era of outrage and chaos.
Yeah. It just...
That was it. That was like the primal scream that set off the dominoes. And they're all in motion right now.
It wasn't supposed to happen. It wasn't supposed to happen. Hillary was supposed to be president. That's what everybody thought. It was going to go down in history as just one of those wacky elections, and then business as usual.
Yeah.
But, when Trump won, it turned everything upside down and ripped the cover off of, I think, not only politics in Washington, but Hollywood, the mainstream media, the news media. Everything had the covers ripped off, and everyone's now got to peek inside and realize how fucked up everything is. You used to assume Washington, at least the people had some kind of control, like they were adults doing the job that needed to be, and then you realize, oh my God, everyone's just a piece of shit.
Do you remember? Here's a story that disappeared from years ago. Do you remember the Washington madam that suicided herself?
Oh,
she had a
yeah.
whole book filled with politicians that were banging all these prostitutes.
Yeah.
And she was going to release everything, and she was doing press conferences, and then she committed suicide. And everybody's like, well, case closed. No big deal. Oh, we lost her books.
Yeah.
Whatever.
And then it disappeared.
Yeah, it disappeared.
Things like that happen.
Oh, fuck they do.
Politicians kill people.
Oh, yeah.
There's secret backroom deals that happen, and it's crazy.
House of Cards is way closer to reality than people would like to believe.
Yeah.
Way closer.
We, over the course of the decades upon decades, every year that goes by, we seem to get a little more knowledge and a little less confident in the government. I mean, I watched some shit from the 50s, There's plenty of things on YouTube and even industrial films, just this thing of how to raise your family, how to be a good wife, all that stuff. And it was all this weird propaganda of what America was. And then as years go by, you realize, oh, it was all bullshit. Like politicians were always getting rich, and no one seems to know how or why. And these deals that are made aren't always in our best interest. They're not civil servants there to represent and help you. And as the years go by, we see more and more of this. And the past 2 years with Trump has just been, quite a crash course.
It really has.
Yeah.
It's great. I'm fascinated to see where it goes. I'm fascinated to see if he seems... they always called Gotti the Teflon Don, but it seems like Trump is the Teflon Donald. He seems. It seems like all these things keep happening, and even because of I remember Justin Martindale, a comedian friend of mine. It's hilarious. He goes, he was talking about Stormy Daniels. He was like, she's our Monica Lewinsky. She's going to take him down.
Oh,
I'm like,
God.
the fuck? That's not happening.
Nope.
I go, you don't get it. He doesn't care that they know he fucked her. He doesn't care. Do you understand? It's not, you have to care for it to work.
Right. And that's just it. People don't really care. It's, some people. Don't care. I follow like Rosie O'Donnell's account on Twitter, and Rob Reiner is another one. And for over 2 years, they have just been like counting down and the day that it's like, oh, impeachment's right around the corner. Yeah. Oh, he's out. Oh, they're going to put him in prison. I hope you and your son get a cell next to each other. And it's like, how long are you going to do this? 8 years? Yeah. Is it going to be 8 years of you going, well, any day now?
How about Keith
Mueller's
going
to, yeah.
Do you remember when he was doing that wacky show in a basement somewhere for GQ?
Like a mental patient.
Yes, like legitimately like a mental patient.
Yeah.
The Resistance.
Screaming.
And it was like he was doing... it was almost like burlesque or something. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know how it was like the radio version of burlesque.
Yeah,
burlesque is like when you see a girl doing burlesque, it's like a throwback to an old timey way of doing things. Like the guy with the handlebar mustache with the bowler cap will introduce her. Yeah. She's bawdy. She is bodacious. Please welcome Madam blah blah blah. And she comes out to music that nobody listens to anymore, and she's dancing around.
Right.
It's very weird. And they're always kind of big girls. They're not skinny and like little strippers.
Oh,
they're on
yeah.
meth. They're girls who eat. So it's like it's a throwback to a different time of rowdiness. And when he was in front of that screen, like and doing this thing with his suit on and his tie, like and everything was like really well written and like he had these precise points. And I don't understand like what the red, blue in the background was either. It's just it was so it seemed like something that someone had set up. Like not as good as your compound media in your basement, live from the compound. It wasn't as good as that. It's like that's the background. This is for GQ. GQ is like, okay, we have $30. Yeah. So what do you have with $30?
I think Charlie's got a camera. Yeah. He could bring it in.
$30. Good. Okay, we have a table, the IKEA table. That's $12. You have $18 left.
We got some construction paper for the background.
I mean, what the fuck is this? They got some big ass blue and blue and red paint.
Yeah.
Or posters. Like what is that?
And then he would just pontificate there and
he quit. And his last thing was like, because the end is imminent. There's no reason for me to go on.
Right.
Trump is finished. Yeah, what is this? My work here is done. Play some of this.
Trump is finished.
Posted one year ago this week.
Exactly 1 year ago.
Wow.
It's November 11th, 2017 was when he quit.
He would get a pardon from Trump, or that Mueller, as I've also reported here, has succeeded in finding a way around Trump's pardon power. And either of these near certainties spell Trump's doom. So that's the most obvious of the 7 ways for Trump to go now. Mueller really will get him on Russia. It will be ugly and it will tear this country nearly apart, but it will be necessary. The second way is, as I've also repeatedly suggested here, that Mueller doesn't really need to prove anything about Trump and Russian sabotage of the election. There seems to be so much obstruction of justice, from the firing of James Comey to the lies about Trump Jr.'s meetings with the Russians, that it's hard to pick out a key player in the Trump inner circle who could not be guilty of it. Trump could be impeached.
It's so funny. It's like a year ago, and it's like, it's still going.
Still going.
Still going. And
it's like it's fake news.
Yeah.
End it now.
Fake news. It's a hoax.
But it is interesting. Like, Mueller to me is fascinating because he seems like a ruthless motherfucker who takes his time. He's like a guy who says, hey, look at me. I'm going to kill you. And it's not going to be today. Okay? That's all you need to know. It's not going to be today, but I'm going to fucking kill you. And like every day, he's plotting on killing you. You see him drive by your house and wave.
Yeah, you're like, when is the hammer falling?
You look out your window of your office. He's out in the park,
look at that guy
drinking coffee.
Oh, he has seen some shit.
Oh, I mean,
this guy.
He's a cold-blooded intelligence agent.
Yeah.
I mean, those guys have seen everything. He knows the inner workings of the machine, and he knows how you bring a guy like that down and how you fuck it up. And he's doing everything that leads me to believe that he's not fucking it up. This is a slow play.
And if there is anything to the Russian thing, you would think something would have leaked out by now.
Well, it has. I mean, there was a video the other day of Donald that they just played on CNN of Donald talking about how many times he's actually been to Russia, Donald Jr. And, he had said that he hadn't been. But then there's another video of him from years ago saying, yeah, I've been there many times, 2005, 6, 7, 8, talking about business.
The problem with the people that are going after Trump that they don't seem to understand, the guy, right up until he became president of the United States, was just a private citizen businessman. So he had a lot of dealings around the world with his real estate and buildings and golf courses. All this shit happened when he was just a citizen doing business. Now, whether it was ethical or not, that could definitely be brought into question. Whether it's legal or not, I'm sure that's what they're looking into also. But he wasn't beholden to the people as a public servant. There wasn't a conflict of interest because he was a lifelong politician,
right,
and using the power of his office to make deals. So, and that also goes hand in hand with him just fucking around. Yeah. Like if he went from a selectman in his hometown and then years and years go by and then you're the president and you built that career up, at any point in there, they could call you out on being a horrible human being because you fuck girls or you're this or you had a shady business dealing. But up until 2 years ago, He was just Donald fucking Trump.
Yeah.
So it's hard to call him out on even dealing with Russia because there's plenty of businessmen that deal with Russia and China.
I think the question is whether or not he colluded with Russia to get information about Hillary and also to put out all that propaganda against Hillary and also saying that they're going to make a deal to do the Trump Tower in Moscow. This is all while he was running for president and then not being honest about it. I think that's where it gets...
Again, I don't know if there's anything illegal there. I don't know if there's anything that he did that is illegal. Because I believe when you're campaigning, say whatever the fuck you want to anybody. I don't think
you're not really running. I mean, you're
right.
running,
you might
but
lose.
You're not really running anything. You're not really running the country.
Yeah, if he lost the presidency, he would still have to have some ducks in a row to continue his business. So,
yes.
And his son took over that part of what he was doing so he could campaign. So whether Donnie Jr. went over to Russia or not, I don't really see. You might think it's unethical, and you might go, well, did he say if we win, we'll do this and help you out? So who knows about that part of it? But I don't see in and of itself him going over there being that big a problem.